One of the advantages of working within Scotland is its relatively small population, and therefore the opportunity to build relationships and networks with key leaders and with key organisation leaders from across the spectrum within evangelicalism in Scotland and beyond as well. And from these key relationships have come great opportunities to work together collaboratively on a number of different initiatives, and I suppose some highlights have been Just Generation, where I worked in partnership with 8 other Christian organisations who came together with a vision to raise up a generation of young adults who are passionate about tackling injustice and hearing God's call to serve the least, the last and the lost in our society. We organised a number of conferences and a number of other events across the country, and it was great to work together with other organisations on that initiative. Another example was Churches Vote, which was developed in the run-up to the May 2011 Scottish Parliament elections, and we worked with the major church denominations in Scotland to encourage and equip the Christian community to engage in the elections, to run hustings and ultimately vote. The Churches Vote initiative and website included a number of different resources and included videos from the main party leaders answering critical questions about the role of the church in our society. So for me, initiatives such as those really fulfilled a critical role for the Alliance, which is about bringing people together and creating a space for collaborative mission and the building of God's kingdom. Yeah, I suppose the toughest challenge has come from the fact that the Alliance brings together a breadth and depth of evangelicalism, and that can be really good on the one hand and really difficult and really challenging on the other. Bringing people together, bringing leaders together, uniting churches is sometimes notoriously difficult, especially when we all come with our own preconceptions, with our own judgments, and there have been numerous times when our collaboration with one group has undermined our standing with another, and in some ways this is inevitable, but it does therefore make our relationships with individuals critical in making sure that we are dialoguing and making sure that we are communicating effectively so that these relationships can be maintained where misunderstanding can creep in. I suppose working for the Alliance has been extremely humbling. As I mentioned, we sometimes fall into the trap of making assumptions and judgments about other people when we have very little justification to do so. And therefore I think I will take away from my time with the Alliance a willingness to learn and to listen from all those I engage with, even though I might disagree with them on a key issue, whether that's a theological issue or a political issue. And I suppose I would want to make sure that whoever I come across in my future work, I'm trying to listen to them and understand where they're coming from before I make any judgments which might break down our relationship. I've also had fantastic opportunities to speak in churches and at conferences, and this experience no doubt will be vital as I take the next step. Well, my wife and I were moving back to Sheffield, where I was at university, and I will be working as youth and young adult minister for a church there called All Saints Ecclesall, and leading something called their Uncut Project, which is a fresh expression of church aimed at youth and young adults. I think it's a really exciting opportunity with huge potential to see God work in the lives of young people in that community. As I look back at my work with the Alliance over the last 5 years here in Scotland, I suppose I've been asking myself, has God's kingdom been advanced? And I suppose this is my hope and my prayer for the future work of the EA. How can we see God's kingdom being developed and being advanced across the nation? I've definitely experienced, I would say, a renewed willingness across churches and Christian organisations to come together and build God's kingdom. The Alliance has played a critical role in this, and hopefully will continue to do so in the future. I believe that the Alliance, more than any other organisation, has the ability to build a movement, a broad movement of Christians who come together for holistic mission. So creating networks of believers across all areas of society, whether that's politics or education or healthcare or more traditional forms of evangelism. We need to see God's people coming together as one body to radically infuse our society with the values of the kingdom. And I believe EA in Scotland can and should be driving this vision. I just wanted to say as well, thank you so much for the support from all staff across the EA, and for the relationships I've been able to build with most of you. I've really enjoyed my time here, and I suppose as much as I can do it from this little video, I want to say bye.